Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be using Quest Text Adventure Maker to create a game, and this is going to be a tutorial series on how to create a game in Quest. It's pretty simple, and if you pay attention, it shouldn't be hard. I'm going to cover the basics: adding libraries, making rooms, objects, monsters, and shops, adding shops as well. Also, I'm going to be showing you how to describe things. Flavor text is very important in a text-based adventure. And writing a story. Not as easy as it sounds. So yeah, let's get started with this. You're going to want to create a new game. And text adventure is easier because it has more library options than the game book does. So this adventure, we're going to call it The Legend of... yeah, also watch out for typos. Legend of the Tutorial. Okay. And that's where I want it to be. Okay. Now it's going to load up the game. Alright, now we're in. So we're just going to name that subtitle. X crossovers. The game begins. Yes. Version 1. And we're just going to generate a new one just because we can. Category. We're going to go for educational for now. No cover art for now. Game I made to demonstrate using Quest Text Adventure Creator. Okay, now we'll get started on the good stuff. First thing, start out in a room. Okay. Let's name this room. We're gonna call this, well, we'll just call this Room 1, but we'll give it the alias of bottom floor. You know, let's name it something else. How about lobby? There we go. So when you're in the game, you'll actually see this titled lobby rather than room 1. But it helps to call it room 1 just to keep it, like, you know. And we're going to want to organize all this. I found the easiest way to organize things is to create separate rooms and then place those rooms inside that room, basically like creating a building. So we're just going to call this Dungeon 1. Okay. And we'll place Room 1 in Dungeon 1. And there you go. We've got Room 1, players inside. Now, what you're going to want to do is... I'm just going to cover the basics of room creation in this episode. Next episode, I'll go over importing libraries and using them. But for now, we're just going to stick with this. Okay. So this is a room, as you can see, by its type room. Now we're going to want to go to here. And you know what? I decided that I do not want... Okay, so these are the features of our game. We're going to have hyperlinks, yes. You don't have to have them, but I prefer to have them. Map, yes. For me, I like to have the map. Picture frame? No, we're not going to do pictures. Score? No. Health? No. Inventory limits? We're not going to do that. We'll go for that. And room description. descriptions, yes. Actually, we're not going to need that because I found an easier way than using the ask-tell system, which is really hard to use. I found an easier way to do it that will be easier for people who don't really know it. Okay, so basically these are the standards for what your quest is going to look like. For just a normal text adventure, I recommend Quest Standard or Novella. But if you're going for something like Zork, or something that you want to have a 8-bit kind of feel to it, go for Retro. If you're going for some kind of horror game, Typewriter is good for that. And Hot Dog Stand if you're just trying to make a jokey game, because it's not very professional looking. I wouldn't recommend it for the actual people who want to make good games. Alright, so anyway. Interface. Show command bar. We're not going to have command bar because we don't need that. Location bar. Yes. We'll leave that off. Now we need panes for sure because we're having a map. No custom display width. Okay, so that's all we need for now. Script. Okay, you're going to want to add this for later. So, combat initialize. Then you're going to want to go true. Let's see how that looks. There we go. Okay. So you're going to want that like that. And then, we're not going to generate room descriptions. Yes. Connection line. No. Display commands entered by the player. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. Extra line. No. Sure. Automatically generate object display. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, player object, player. And we'll just leave that. Status attributes. Okay, we're gonna leave all that. Now we're good to go. Room 1. Alright. So, let's see, what's up with this room? It's the first room. So, let's just say once, which basically means that the first time they enter this room will be the only time that they see the text that's in these brackets right here. So we're gonna say once you wake up in what appears to be your room, period. And then I'm gonna say this room may look like your room, but for some reason it feels, let's say, evil. Okay, so now we have a basic scenario. Waking up in a place that you don't recognize, or you could go with dreaming and waking up in your home, or maybe you know where you are or something, like I did with the analgesic one I made. Also, you could probably go with starting them right off in a battle, or even just starting off in a tutorial room is usually okay, but I'm just going to start off with this because it feels right to me. Okay, so this may look like your room, for some reason it feels evil. Now, we're going to want to describe the room to them. And then we're going to go once you climb out of your bed. Because obviously if they come back into the room again, they will not be in their bed, so that wouldn't really make sense. So you have to set it for once, just the first time they'll see it, and that's it. Okay, now, as you also make sure that when you start writing after you write it once, that it will line up with what your constant will be. So if you write, this may look like your room, but for some reason it feels evil, and then you write, as you look around, that's fine. But if you wrote, this looks like your room, and for some reason it feels evil, you climb out of your bed, and then you write, like, and then you do something. So quotation mark, and then you do something. That would be wrong grammatically, and it would just confuse them. So you have to make sure that your constants match up. And then what you're going to want to do, as you look around, you begin to realize why this room feels evil. Okay, so now we have a basic understanding, and let's just say the glass of water placed on the table before bed has a red glow about it. Strange. Yep, and then let's do a once. You hear a voice. Ooh. Jimmy, your beings, it says. You should be careful of this place. Okay, so now let's add some, well, that covers the room, okay. Let's add some objects. First we're going to want to name the objects, and then next episode I'll show you how to do all the dealing with objects and stuff. Alright, so first let's go with in room you can see a, and we're going to go object link, and then we're just going to create an object in our head. Let's just say box, and we'll place another object. Let's just say bow staff. Okay, yeah, sure, why not? Got a bow staff in your room. Seems legit. You know what, let's go back to here and just add to that. And several other things seem to be out of place or changed somehow. Period. Okay. Okay. So next what we're going to want to do is add the directions. So what you're going to want to do is say, you can see a door to the, and then you're going to want to do a command, and the direction that you want the door or the exit or the path or wherever you choose to write. And I'm going to say east. It could be dangerous. I should probably look around first. And then that's going to be where looking in the box comes in. And we're going to place a few items in the box next time. But for now, this is what we got. Alright, so we're going to add a new room. And we'll call this room 2. Drag room 2 under dungeon 1. Go to setup. We're going to name this dark hallway. Okay, so now if we go to there, the text, okay. Okay, once there's a cold wind blowing can hear someone whispering. Okay, now. So now when I come into this room and go into the other one, everything you wrote once there will not show up. So make sure that everything lines up, alright? So someone's whispering, now let's say, there is a table with some papers on it. Papers all have scribbles on them. Let's elaborate on that. Let's just say unintelligible. So you can't read them. And let's go on. There are some candles, but they are not lit. Okay, now we're gonna go with some items in the room. Let's give it and maybe their first monster encounter we'll place in here. So let's say you think you see the point of a shield poking out from the side of a shelf. And let's give them an item. How about... Oh, you also notice a glowing object with book. Ooh, alright. So, those are the objects that we're going to have in the room. And let's give them their first mob encounter. Let's just say a rat. We'll go with a rat. Okay. Something runs... Well, let's just say scurries, because it's a rat. Past your feet. Upon further inspection, you discover there is a... And you're going to go with an object, and then we'll change it to a mob later, but for now it's an object. You see an object, rat. Behind the bookshelf in the hallway, because there's bookshelves in hallways. 2 thumbs up. Alright. And yeah, we'll just go with that for now. Oh yes, and maps, of course. So you're gonna go to room 1. I'm gonna do label the map. Label it on the map. I'm just gonna call this bedroom. And you can name it whatever you want, but that's what I'm calling it. And then we'll just call this hall. Alright. So now we got these 2 rooms. And let's test out the game, and then we'll end right there. What? Start element to game. Oh. Right, if we don't add in the library yet, then this will not work. Forgot. So if you added this out in, definitely take that out right now. We'll put that in when I add the library later. For now, it's not really important. There we go. Alright. The Legend of the Tutorial. Alright, so this is basically what you'll have, and these will not be changed to the actual objects yet because we haven't added the objects to the game. Wow. Jimmy, eat your beans. Okay. And this is the compass. And that would explain why I felt like I didn't teach you guys something. It's because I didn't teach you exits. Okay. So when you go to this, you're going to go to exits. And then we said in room that the exit was to the east. So go to exits, go north, east, southwest, never eat soggy waffles. That's how I remember it anyway. And we're gonna go east, and we're gonna go to room 2, which we know is the hallway. And then we're gonna create exit, and you want this checked unless you want them to not be able to go back. This basically just makes it so when you go east to that room, it will also create an exit that goes west to this room, so that they cross paths and you can go back and forth. But if you want to make it a one-way door, do not check this box. We want it to be a two-way door, so we're going to check it. Create exit, and give it a second. It's created now. Alright, so now if we click game, you'll notice right away that on the compass we have the arrow that points east. So yeah, and also you can zoom in and out on the map, which says bedroom, where we wanted it to, and we'll go that way. Now there's a cold wind blowing. You think you can hear some voices whispering. Now if you go back to this room, it doesn't say the things that were first. See where it said you wake up? Now it doesn't say that because we clicked once. And in the hallway it doesn't say the thing about the wind and the whispering. So there's a table with some papers on it, and these are going to be objects, obviously, that we're going to place in. So that pretty much covers room making in this. Next episode, I'll go over the basics of adding in objects. Then after that, mobs, and then probably going to add in shops. Okay? So, see you next time, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, comment. Let me know what you thought, how I can be better at it. It'd be awesome. Alright, have a nice night.